now that I've had a bit of liquid courage. How are y'all? I hope that this finds you well. It's Burgess Taylor, and we are going to be talking about my planning system reset. And the reason that I wanted to talk about this, there's been a lot of stuff going on and a lot of things have changed, and I have been revamping my system. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And I thought this might be a really good way to take a step into what I'm using and how things have changed with the new season, the season of spring, getting past the first quarter. This I am putting on the outside of my studio. I did a brain dump yesterday. This is my everything journal. It's a Nanami paper 7Cs crossfield. I have color coordinated the little dots in the corners depending on what it is. And this is for when I want to write out something, a documentary that I've watched, something that I'm interested in, an event that happened. This has 2 dots because it's an event and it is a spiritual thing, or it's personal and it's a spiritual thing. This was personal, like I wanted to talk about some of the comfy clothes. I filmed a video for Patreon and this is what I had on. They're my oldest pair of jeans. And here I have, I was talking about the Smart Water, the cucumber lime. Delicious. And I started it out with, if life gives you lemons, make some kind of fruity juice. And this was the fruity juice that I wanted to talk about. I just did some journaling. This is just the combination of anything and everything kind of journaling. Friday was an off day. I went to the emergency room Tuesday and had a CT scan and some other things done. By Friday, I was still in a lot of pain. I was depressed. I had spent some hours in the studio that wore me out, sitting like that in that same position, doing the filming and editing. By this day, this was a bed day, and I stayed in the bed. I was craving chocolate, and I wrote, and something salty, like pistachios or cashews, a soda, which I rarely drink. I'm craving Dr. Pepper. I had really low energy. My back was hurting no matter what position I sat in or laid in or anything else. So I was talking about how I couldn't do much, how I'm not getting any of the things done that I need to do, and how I don't share much of this in any of the journals that I keep, and I need to start sharing it. It is part of my life, part of my journaling right now while I'm in so much pain. If I work like I did yesterday, then I rest the next day, which is today, but resting isn't helping me mentally, even if it is helping physically. My mind is spinning and all over the place, and a lot of the dark places, the negative self-talk places. Ended up having a bag, the sharing size, mind you, and I ate it all by myself, of almond M&Ms. And I did have a Dr. Pepper. Now, mind you, I've been drinking water, primarily water, coffee, and milk, and on occasion some juice and some hint, like the hint waters. That's what I have today is the watermelon. Yesterday I had the strawberry lemon. So then this is a documentary that I am journaling about, and this was my brain dump that I did yesterday. I put dots. Now all of this is the studio. After I put the dots, I separated it. So this is a Nanami paper 7Cs crossfield. This is the Sterling Ink B5 journal. It is grid. I have some things in here. This was journaling, writing out my planning system and how I do that. I brain dump. This is where I started with this on the 12th. Each year, each season, month, week, and then days, I write things out. I get all the things that I know are coming up or that I need to do, that I want to do, any appointments, classes, events, birthdays, goals, tasks, priorities. And then I also do a brain dump. I also list master running to-do list for each month. I write down in the calendar anything that's automatically going to come out or anything that I need to go pay. I break the task down usually via the date if there's a deadline or priority or based on like a timeline. Sometimes I don't and I just make the list and then I divvy them up. Depends on if there is a timeline. Sometimes I know I need to get things done in this week or I know I need to get things done in this month. I review and reflect seasonally, monthly, weekly, and daily. I highlight important items, usually either via a highlighter, a bullet point, or a sticker. I create lists for items like projects, ideas, and etc. Sometimes I'll assign time and values for tasks based on priority and, like I said, if there's a deadline. I do try to give myself a deadline each week because there's a certain amount of content that I need to have up on Patreon, and I really want to have at least a video up every week on YouTube. As someone, though, with ADHD, I struggle to wrangle those crazy ideas and my big plans and my regular day-to-day tasks, events, appointments, projects, random thoughts, and all those random musings that happen, plus important information. Now, executive functioning is not easy at all. It is very hard for ADHDers. I'm also struggling to prioritize the priorities, those must-do tasks, the right now tasks. I'm trying to balance the big picture along with those nitty-gritty, the detail things. It's really hard. And when you add in important and urgent tasks, priorities, I sometimes have big issues with prioritizing, especially when it comes to time management. Often things do slip through the cracks, especially if you add in stressor events like having to go to the emergency room, like chronic pain or mental illness or physical illness or any number of other things. There's a lot of different things. Like if you're talking about the flu, the back pain has been an ongoing thing for a little while. Because of those things, I often will work in 20 to 30 increments, and that helps me kind of stay focused, and it helps me keep from being bored, and it gets me up out of this chair and moving around, because every 15 to 20 minutes or so I'm getting up and I'm going to the bathroom, or I will go get a snack, or I'll just walk around the yard, or I'll check the mail, or I just get up and stretch and move around. So some of the issues that come with ADHD for many, especially in reference to planning and planners, is the perfectionism. It's things can be too complicated, or we can make it too complicated. We can lose it, literally, that has happened to me. We have issues syncing it with other parts of life, which is why, like, I have an everything journal that I do things in. I have a bigger, we're going to get to my actual planner and my studio planner journal and my personal planner journal. And I have a couple of other things, but we'll get to those later. It's about more than getting organized. What problems are you trying to solve? Sometimes there's a lack of structure. Sometimes you're late to everything. Sometimes you forget things, important things like either paying a bill or going to the doctor and things like that. Now, I struggled for years and years being late to everything. When I finally managed to be on time to things, I was a single parent. So I was getting me ready, getting kids ready. I finally had started being on time to things. And then I met David, who was chronically late to everything. So I separated them. I haven't done everything. These are just the main things right here. So studio, work, home, yard, spiritual, personal. I have a longer list, but I wanted to show how I go from here, and a brain dump of a list of things. A lot of times I'll do a brain dump where I'm journaling out things. I'm going to go over this in just a second. I was working on things for next week, and I was setting up things because I need to have a better weekly grasp of what's going on, and showing how I'm doing and what do I still need to do, because a list works great. But so I did like a mini brain dump, and I wrote some of what I need to do this week for this coming week, and I wrote things down. And I was like, okay, some of the other things that I need to do, and I made a long list, and I was like, this is not nearly enough, and I don't want to go into writing more, because this is my planner. And I don't do a whole lot of that kind of longhand journaling in this. This is a Janelli Fish. She doesn't make traveler's notebooks anymore. These came from Planning with K, as in a K. These are my tarot and oracle cards for next week. This needs to go in here before I lose it. This same thing, Planning with K. And these are just some stickers that I might need, or little pieces of paper, post-it notes. This is a standard NH1 from a common planner from Sterling Ink. This is her B5 notebook from Sterling Ink. I also have the B6 common planner, which is split up into two, and a couple of different B6 notebooks. So in here I have a bit of a vision board, and then here I did this. This is physical, emotional, which is like mood, mental, which is like anxiety, things like that, and pain. This This is the quarter that we're in right now, and this, I had this elsewhere, and I decided to put it here because I showed it to the doctor a few weeks ago when I went to see her. So I have things that I need to do. I've already crossed out a few things. That's what this for April is, and I'm keeping track of this for the doctor. I have been doing a bit of back planning in here because I want everything together in this. I have the AVEC Hobonichi Cousin that is my studio journal planner, and then I have the Spring Edition Cousin, which is all of it in one for my personal journal planner. But this David can look at, and he can see bills, and he can see, like, this is the everything planner. This is the everything journal. So I did do a bit of back planning, and this is April. And I'm keeping up with art, reading, and writing. Did I make art? Did I read? Did I write? I missed the 16th for writing because that's when I was at the ER and we were there for like 10.5 hours. Didn't get to write, and by the time I got home I was exhausted and I went to sleep. And then when I woke up, David drove me and we went and picked up my medicine. I came back home and grabbed something to eat and took the medicine and went to sleep. And like, this was the doctor's appointment. This was when I went to the ER, which kind of needs to be highlighted. And then we get to the weekly. This is this week. This was last week. I tried this and it didn't work for me. I've been going through and doing back planning. I haven't done everything. I'm still working on doing the back planning. This is for next week. And this is when I went in and I put all my to-dos. I pulled the Oracle card and the Tarot card for next week. I put the longer version in my Tarot Oracle journal. This, I just put the short version in. Last week I put a little bit longer stuff, but that's okay. I'm following along with what I find that works the best for me. And then when we go back here, so this is April. I have the solar eclipse and running to-do list. I have been planning. I did write out, and I don't do a lot of this, but I needed to do a bit of a brain spill, so I did that. Habit tracker, like I said, I was doing this. I need to fill this in right here because I'm behind. This is my weekly reset. That was for this week, and I need to go in and make my checks because I'm about to do my review and reflect, so I will fix this. And then these are things that I need to order, and I ordered everything but these two things. So you can see, like, I recharge. I did spend quite a bit of time in the studio. This was a recharge day. I did have some things to do that were mostly online. And then this is today. I haven't checked off anything. I just did some things. Then we get to here. I haven't finished the studio journal. I have been trying to do some catch up. What I do in here, this is writing out stuff for coffee chats and outline for videos. So in here, which these are art. It was started out with a 100-day project, but I've done the 100 days, I believe, and now I'm working for all year, 365 days. Okay, so this is sort of a mess. I need to fill in this. This is where I'm color coding things that I do on social media, so I need to fill this in. This is for expenses, and that's for studio stuff to keep up with my taxes. These are things for this month. Like I said, I'm working on things. I haven't really written a whole lot of things in here. Like, this is today. I don't have a lot here. I will go in and fill things in. I did get some new weather stickers. Sometimes I draw it myself. Sometimes I use the stickers. It just really depends. And then I've got a challenge I faced. Well, the challenge I faced this week was being in the ER for 10.5 hours. And I will put that right here, and I will fill in the rest of this. So when we get back here, I had an artist date. I did 2 artist dates. I did an artist date on Friday, and I did an artist date on Monday after this, the day before I went to the ER. And one of the days I did some writing, and one of the days I did some reading and some journaling. I think I did writing and a little bit of journaling, art, and then I did reading and some journaling. That was when I got the YouTube video up. This I took a picture of and put the thing that came with that because I need to put it up. This was my other artist date. This was the emergency room. This was when I got the zebra. I got this pin in, which is absolutely fantastic. I love this pin. It's the blend. It's a zebra blend is what it's called. It's a 0.7 millimeter. This is me in the bed with my journals and planners, and that's a picture of the pen. And I had to get out my new Oohoo stick. I think this is my last one of these. I was still doing some journaling and art and stuff, and I did this on watercolor paper and put it in my journal. This is my new mug that I showed you. And then this was the stickers came in. That was a bed day yesterday. My pain was at a 9. This morning it was at a 7.5. And I did this and I put the sticker here and I realized it had the clouds were yellow. So I put blue clouds in. It's okay. It doesn't matter. And I will put something else here. But this is my studio journal. Weather stickers came in. You can see like this is my to-do list here. Sometimes I put the list there. Sometimes I don't. I'm catching up in this one. And here I have been working on, I'm catching up. That was the artist date, what I cooked for dinner. I'm loving the Bridgerton berries and cream. That was the ER thing. This was the pen and the studio thing. This was, I got a lot of things done. It was a studio day, so a few supplies I keep around all the time now. One of these is this Energel Clina, which everybody has been talking about, because I think this is the 4. Talked about my brushes. These are the Escoda Reds. Each one is a different, I think they're different. See, this is a Versatile 6, which is, I think, squirrel. This is a Perla, which is it was white originally. And then this is the Versatile 12. I love these brushes. This I started doing, like I got the pain medicine and I put pains with meds with food or milk, and I drew my glass because I had milk and I need to watercolor it. This is a picture of my mug. This was this planning video that I kind of did a little outline of. These are the things that the shit I'll forget, and I have things written down for me for next week. And then I just put the weather here. This is today, and I need to finish journaling this stuff right here. The planning of this video for the most part was done in bed yesterday. That's what I'm doing in here is I worked things out. One of the things that I have noticed for me, especially, I need to make a list, and this is in not necessarily a specific order, because for some of these, there are some things that I need to do first before, like, okay, I've got put acoustic panels up. Well, before I can put the rest of the acoustic panels up, the new set that I have, before I take those and put them up, I have to take the shelves down that are on the wall. These shelves are up and they have my ink bottles on those shelves. Before I can move the little small white desk that's behind me with all this stuff on it, I need to take everything off of it. And I also am probably going to need to move my desk first, which means taking everything off of my desk, moving my desk, because right now it is against this wall horizontally and I need to move it this way in the middle of the room, kind of. And then I'm going to put the little white desk over here in the corner, and then to make the L, I will use the 7-drawer faux Alex drawers that I have with my printer on the top to put right in between those two desks so that it makes an L. There are things that I will need to do before I can do other things, but I listed the things. And I would list something and I go, oh, well, before I can do that, I need to do this. I listed all the things that I remembered based on this and this. Now, there were things that I thought of after I did these while I was doing this. And I went, oh, okay, well, I need to pick up my watch Monday or Tuesday. Whenever they call me, I took it there to have the battery replaced in it. It's my Swiss Army watch. It's a man's watch. My brother gave it to me. I got a new battery put in it. It's my favorite watch, and I like these, and I am using these for the most part. But whenever I go out to eat or we do like a date night or something like that, I really don't want to wear this watch. I would really rather wear my nice dress watch. I'm working on things. I had done this for the month of April for the whole spring, but I decided to go ahead and revamp based on having hurt my back and going to the ER again and these things, like had the kidney stone. So there were some things that I needed to juggle around and figure out a little bit. So this is more like overall. Some of these are not going to get done in April. Some of these may get done in May. I'm working on to get these done over the spring. I want to get these done before June when the weather gets hotter, because one of the things I need to do, well, two of the things I need to do is put up the rest of the insulation in the ceiling, and then we need to put the panels up in the ceiling. I want to do that before the weather gets really hot out here, because we get really hot and humid in July and August. So June, July, and August, yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm doing and how I'm working in this. And I feel pretty good about what I've got. I am loving the standard. For a long time, I tried to use inserts. I tried to use the monthly insert. I got one from Paper Penguin Co. that had all 12 months in it and some extra pages, and then another insert, and I tried to do bullet journaling in inserts. It didn't really work for me. I'm past the point of wanting to really create calendars a whole lot. No, I will in certain things if I need to, like to kind of keep up with things, but I'm finding that I want to do that less and less. Here I just have the basics. I will be putting more in, like we've got the full moon. We are heading into Taurus. My cousin's birthday is today. My best friend's birthday is tomorrow. And another friend of mine's birthday is Tuesday. David's birthday is the beginning of May. Taurus season, here we come. Here we are. Yeah, we're here. Put more information about the full moon here, and I will be probably pulling oracle cards, and I may write them down, just the word for each of the oracle cards daily. I will go in, and if there's anything that is specific to things, I will add them in. I haven't done a lot of ahead, except for on the calendars. I did add some tabs, and then when I'm done with April, I will add the May's tab, but I'm nowhere near, I don't know when that will be. As I move through this is where the bulk of the planning goes. I do use the calendar in here and in the studio journal and in the personal. This is smaller than the A5. I can take this with me. I debated on whether this would be lighter than the B6. This is heavy. I have ordered a clear cover to go over this, that I will be able to take this out and take it with me wherever I wanted in my purse with just the clear cover on it. And I wouldn't have to take the actual traveler's notebooks and the actual everything. And I could just pull out whatever I need from these and take it with me with a pen. And that I'm fine with that. I am still working on things. Like I said, I am finding though that I like to make the bigger plans. This B5 is fabulous for that. I've got a number of composition notebooks, rodeo ones, regular inexpensive composition notebooks. I do my morning pages in a composition notebook. I find that this really works for me whenever I need to do something and kind of see it out, laid out bigger. Between this and this would hold commonplace stuff. I do have an actual commonplace book in my bedroom that I keep in there that I use for documenting movies or documentaries or whatever. I don't bring it out here. This is, like I said, my everything journal. So if I'm doing planning or journaling or whatever, like I do documentaries and all different kinds of things in here. I'm not limiting myself to anything. And what I'm finding is the more that I'm doing everything in the everything journal, the more I am loving doing that. This is a journal though. It's not a planner, it's a journal. This is whatever I need it to be. If I'm doing something bigger, like what the M on your palm means, and I have an M on both palms, what that means, and I wrote down, I did that. And then, like I said, this is the planning system, and I organized it and talked about issues that I'm having and things like that. This is a B5 cover from Salty Katie Co. I had it on my B5 Stology that I use for astrology, for learning astrology and taking notes and stuff. But I found that it was a little bit tight, and this works perfectly for this. And this is one of Bree's stickers that I got in the mail for being a patron. So this is what I'm using mostly, and my very hungry caterpillar. So I will try to, the next video, I'm hoping to get up sometime the middle of the week or towards the weekend for YouTube will be a flip through of the Very Hungry Caterpillar Junk Journal. And then next video that I do for Patreon will most likely be how I'm journaling for the full moon this coming Tuesday and for Taurus season. And I hope that y'all have enjoyed this and that you have a great one. And I will see y'all again really soon. Don't forget to do all the YouTubey things like subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, comment, all that wonderful stuff. It really helps the channel. It helps other people find the channel. And since I was remiss with videos and I took some time off in February and March for almost 3 months, my videos are probably not being recommended right now. Some of my people who are subscribed may have even been unsubscribed. So anyway, y'all have a great one, and I will see y'all again real soon. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you to all of my patrons, because without them, a lot of this would not be possible, because I would not be able to get this stuff by y'all. Have a great one.